Today I want to talk about predicting what your narc will do next. I know that I see a lot of posts for people who are just coming to terms with what narcissism is. Did yours do that? And what did he do then? You know, that fear, because once you open up your eyes and you recognize that this person is not at all who you thought they were. So who are they? And what will they do next? You may be going to leave, you may be going for a divorce, and you're fearful of what this narcissist is going to do or is capable of doing. And it's very scary. So I have some tips of things that I have learned in hindsight when I look back and going through the healing journey that I would like to share with you, and also some hindsights that working with clients in my coaching business has helped me to recognize that it wasn't just me that these things were helpful for. So the first one is trying to unravel the pattern. That's key. You need to unravel what their pattern has been over the years, because there's a clear-cut way in which they operated. They're not really creative outside of that scope. For example, if they went to gaslighting as the first thing that they were doing, trying to make you doubt yourself as the first approach to undo where this is all heading, that's what they're going to do. If their first go-to was to go into a victim mode and be shy and passive and try to look innocent, that's what they're going to do. And typically, whatever they did in the beginning is what they're going to use in the future. It may ramp up some. So if they were violent, then typically they would be violent. Looking at the process, if you look back in hindsight, there are always clues in every single thing they did and how they got their needs met. So the second one is remembering to see their intent and to remember that their heart is not yours, and not to get mixed up with their thought process and their, emotional state, because it's not the same as yours. So when people are saying, oh, but he's hurting or he's this or that, that is you and your guilt. That is your feeling shame. That has nothing to do with their emotional state. Their emotional state blocks all positive emotions. They are not where you are, and their goal is to play off of the fact that you think that they operate like you. They don't. They see people as objects. It is just a means to an end for them to get their needs met. It's not about us at all. So we need to shift our thought process, and that's number 3, of not taking it personal. Because they see us as an object, we are interchangeable with someone else. Something that is so foreign to who we are and how we operate in the world that it's really hard to come to terms with it. It comes in time. And sometimes when you think about how they think, it can make you dizzy and so confused, because it's the total opposite of a healthy relationship. So trying to apply healthy thought processes with an unhealthy, toxic person does not equate. Anything you were taught about a relationship and how to get along and how to communicate does not work with an abuser. It just doesn't. It's like trying to talk to a lion and telling it that it needs to be like a dog. It doesn't work. Wishful thinking. The next one is remembering that it's about truth. It is about, right now, we are focused on getting to the bottom of the truth, not from the narcissist of what they say, but what their actions are. In looking back in hindsight and moving forward, what is it that we're seeing? What can we learn with these new glasses, this new set of eyes that we now are aware of what a narcissist is, what a narcissist does. And if your narcissist did something, it doesn't mean that every other narcissist needed to do it. And you don't necessarily need to understand every other person's narcissistic traits. Their specific traits. I mean, their comings and goings and how they operated. We need, which is helpful, we need to focus more on our own person that we need to engage with when we need to either move out so we're prepared. Remember, they know us inside and out. They know what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and so they've been operating based on that without us understanding that they had a pattern. And they're always looking to react to how we act. It's a game to them, like a cat and mouse game. I do this because she's going to do that, and I know she's going to get upset, which is going to get me what I want. That's how they operate. So once you understand them, you start doing differently. You're not giving them what they want. And they don't know what to do with that because what they used to do doesn't work anymore. So they are very predictable. We want to remember that. Seeing them as who they are and their intention, the new person, not the person we thought that they were. 3, not taking it personal. It's not easy, but being able to see it as an observer is important. We need to step out of ourselves and let that transition into new set of eyes so that we can get to the truth, which is the 4th one, because that is what we need. That is what sets us free, and it allows us to have peace, because when the whole part of our relationship in that life was a lie, I know for me and others, it's setting that record straight. It is rewriting it so it makes sense. Because when something doesn't make sense, it leaves us in constant turmoil. And we know that when we were living with and dealing with a narcissist, that nothing felt settled. It was always walking on eggshells. It was always unpeaceful. We're looking for peace, joy, and love in our lives. We are done wanting the chaos. And this is the 4-part process that I have found was so helpful in the process of healing to get through it and get past it. For more information on my coaching, you may click below for information to learn more about me, what it is I do, as well as subscribe so you can see the next video. My goal is to create awareness because that disarms any future abusers.